Emotional intimacy precedes sexual intimacy. So listening like this, having an emotionally safe relationship is like an aphrodisiac.
Well, welcome to the workshop. Here we are with just the guys of A Better Us, looking to do a little home improvement, right, guys? We have Eric Maines, we have Dan McCauley here, we got Mike Pinball Clemens, and another Mike, Dr. Mike Ronsisvalle. Good to have you with us. We needed a psychologist to help us try to get on track here and to figure things out in the workshop.
We got this.
We got some new tools for our relationship belts, and we've appreciated the different topics you've been helping us through. Maybe you caught some of the other episodes of the workshop where we have some other segments, and we're looking at some tools that we need, because every marriage needs a little renovation now and then, and if we're honest, we've been there too, and maybe we're there now, or maybe we need some new tools or dust off some old ones. But where are we going to head today, Dr. Mike?
So how many times have you guys been sitting with your spouse and they look at you during a conversation and say, would you just stop trying to fix me? Like, how many times does that happen?
It happens.
It happens. Yeah. It happens. It's part of how we're wired, guys. As men, we want to kind of get in the trenches, see a problem, understand how to address the problem, create a relevant response, and get a desired outcome. That's what we love, right?
Well, here we are in the workshop propagating that stereotype, right? There we go.
Well, it's just part of us. I mean, that's fine. It's actually it's a God-given strength for us to solve problems. It's a wonderful part of who we are as a group. But guys, our wives need something different from us. They really do. They're smart enough to solve their own problems. Let me say that again.
Yes.
Your wife is smart enough to solve her own problems. She doesn't need you to fix her. What she needs is for you to walk with her, shoulder to shoulder, against the world, right? That's our goal as husbands. Now, we struggle with this because we like to fix things, right? And we're not great listeners. You know that people talk about an average of 175 words a minute. That's the natural sort of cadence for most people. We can listen and understand at 4 to 5 times that rate. We've done the studies on that. So what are you doing with all that extra mental energy that you have when you're listening to your wife and her issues? Well, what we typically do is we just hatch a plan, right? Like, we're listening, oh yes, oh honey, right? But the whole time she could do this, and then she could do that, and she could try that, and I don't know why. I've told her this before. Why didn't she do that?
You're just waiting for your opening to jump in and tell her.
You can't wait, right? But our job is to say, wait, I've got to step back, and I need to allow myself to start with listening. Listen first. Talk less. Like, that's a good goal. And that's the first step in becoming someone that can empathize with our wife rather than fix them. What are your thoughts? You guys have any thoughts on what are the strategies? What have you tried?
Well, one of the things that I try to do when we're talking is repeat what she has said, right? And I found that that's very effective in sort of starting out, sort of repeating, and then from there, right? I'm hoping that there's something that stimulates her, right? For her to say something, her to talk then, right? So that I don't get it wrong, right? So as we speak though, right, then seems like, yes, so you got a general topic, right? But as you kind of go over, right, there's something that's more specific, right? There's one of those items that is really the bigger challenge, or what may be irking her at the moment. But I've found that if I am patient in my feedback, right, but caring in my desire to listen to her, right? She's so much smarter than me. Yeah, she just needs to listen. She just needs to hear it herself, and she'll be able to take care of it, solve it, do what she needs to do. And every once in a while, right, I get a nugget, right? But mostly it's chicken McNuggets, right? But yes, but in saying that, I think patience and hearing her is what has worked the best for me.
I remember a segment, I think we maybe did it in the huddle early on, where I think it was Bill Farrell. If it wasn't there, I've heard him say it before, that when your wife is telling you about her day or telling you what she's telling you, that she's knitting her life to yours. Like, it's important to her to like know that you, like you were there with her, to know what color this was and who said what and how it felt and all that. And so that I mention it again because it's stuck with me as like the picture of knitting, and she wants to be connected to us. And so actively listening and allowing her to knit that connection. You want that connection. Yeah. That connection, if you're going to be selfish, that connection benefits you. I mean, in the end, right, guys feel especially emotionally close with their wives after sex. Women, in order to want to have sex, need to feel emotionally close with their spouse. And that happens through the deep conversations that and allowing that knitting to happen. So when we shut that down, we're doing not only her a disservice, if we're going to talk selfishly for a second, we're doing ourselves a bit of a disservice too. And sometimes I think for me, I'll say as well, I think I'm a pretty good listener, except that the step that I need to work on, and maybe all of us do or some of us do, is letting her know that I actually heard it. Like I may be able to perfectly regurgitate what she said, but if she doesn't think I was listening, it doesn't matter, right? So actively listening, totally. Like, oh yes, and like you said, paraphrasing back what she said, actively listening, so she knows not only that I let the knitting happen and that I'm tuned into it, but that that she knows I actually heard it, like she knows I did. So and that makes the difference, I think.
Communicating with understanding. Like you're talking, you're communicating, and now she knows you understand because you're actually showing her that you know what she's saying. Yeah, I definitely I go towards problem solving or peacekeeping. Like those are my go-tos, and as Dr. Mike already said, we're hardwired that way. But that's not what my wife needs in that moment. I've found I'm less than 10 years in, but I have found that she needs me to be a sounding board. She needs me to be, and Coach Mike said it good. Yeah, you're saying back to her what she's saying, and she's smarter than us anyway. She's gonna figure it out. Like I loved that. But yeah, I definitely fall towards okay, well she's upset here, so let me try to keep the peace, and no, you shouldn't be feeling that way because, but that's where I took the wrong step there. You shouldn't be feeling that way. No, let me understand. We're communicating, but with understanding. Let me understand why you're feeling that way and see if I can empathize as well. Empathy is a foreign word to me, but I'm working on it. We're in the workshop. We're working on it.
That's what we're supposed to do here.
Yeah, we're working on it.
I wrote down a meme that I saw on social media where the words came up. My wife just stopped and said, "You weren't even listening, were you?" And I thought, that's a strange way to start a conversation. Anyway, the tool that I pulled out for this segment.
We got.
Oh yeah.
Are those earmuffs. You could put them on, and I don't know I'm talking that loud. I'm certainly not listening. I can't hear what you guys are saying. I'm just kind of safe in my own little world here. Am I talking loud?
Yeah.
And it's just kind of one way. But if we do that, our wives can really know when we're listening, or if we just, our mind is maybe somewhere else in our thoughts and we've got the earmuffs on, we're not really listening. Because we do tend to be, even when we are kind of hearing, we're not really listening. And we're hearing to try to just respond, and as you said, to fix it, because that's the way we're wired. And so, sometimes our thought process in that conversation that she's talking, you're kind of thinking, I don't understand where she's kind of crazy. It doesn't make sense to me, but it's important to her what she's saying. And if we realize, okay, maybe it doesn't compute with me, and I don't really see the issue here, but it's important to her, so I'm going to listen. I'm going to empathize. I'm going to say, not shoot her down for having those feelings, but to say, to validate those feelings, and to say, I know I've done the wrong thing many times in saying the wrong thing, and sometimes just has to come right out and tell me, you know, hon, that's not what I need from you right now. I just need you to validate that, you know, and empathize with me, and not try to fix it or tell me that doesn't make sense. But and it's just exactly what we've been talking about.
Yeah, and I think the word is emotional safety. Emotional safety. That's a big catch word in the research right now in the literature, and they find that couples that have what we call emotional safety as a characteristic of the relationship tend to be much more satisfied. What does it mean to have emotional safety? Well, it means that I feel comfortable enough with you and safe enough that if I pull that veil back a little bit and I let you see what's going on inside of me, that you're not going to judge it, you're not going to criticize it, you're not going to try to fix it. You're just going to let me have it. Yeah, that's where codependence comes in. It's codependent when we go into, yeah, but you shouldn't feel that way. And no, you don't understand me. I didn't mean to say it that way. You don't get me. And we spend so much time trying to convince our wives not to feel. And ultimately that makes them believe, and rightly so, that the relationship is not a safe relationship to feel in. And if a female is a feeling individual, which most of them are, it's gonna feel really hard for her to connect with you and to have that deep emotional intimacy, because that's really what we're shooting for. When we listen and repeat back and hear, and we're allowing ourselves to feel emotionally intimate. And what does emotional intimacy lead to? Sexual intimacy. Almost always. Emotional intimacy precedes sexual intimacy. So listening like this, having an emotionally safe relationship, is like an aphrodisiac for your spouse. That's one way to look at this. I'm just going to put it out there.
Duly noted. Yeah.
Note to self.
Okay, so we need to put down the earmuffs, and now I tend to pride myself a little bit in being a bit of a handyman. You know, I can do a few things around the house, and I think, you know, I'm pretty cool. I can do that, but I do know my limitations. I know when I need to call in the plumber or the electrician, and to say, okay, this is a little beyond me, and if there's some issues that you're dealing with
that's a talent right there, knowing your limitations too, not trying to.
Right. Sometimes you think you can fix it, and you're going beyond, but sometimes we need the help of a professional. And so, and like a Dr. Mike type or a counselor that can really go a little deeper where you don't really have the skills to go. And so we encourage that, definitely. It's a sign of strength, not weakness, if you go to seek that kind of help. And so maybe we'll just leave it at that. But this has been a great discussion, guys, in the workshop. Marriage is work, but it's so worth it, so satisfying to look back at what you've been working on and say, boy, we created something pretty neat here. Yeah, love it. Okay, stay with us. More Better Us to come. Hey friends, we really hope you're enjoying the marriage conversations here on our Better Us YouTube channel.
We have hundreds of more helpful marriage videos designed to give you hope and tools to make your marriage even better.
Right. And you can see just a few options we think you might like here and here. So keep exploring.
Oh, and make sure you subscribe by clicking here so you don't miss out on all the great marriage help we have coming your way all the time.